Hi guys, good morning. Let's start with a bridge to wake up that back. I'm going to move over here and you can start bridging. At first, let your back down, curl it up and down with your feet on the floor. Go up and down and feel your glutes starting to wake up and feel your hamstrings starting to wake up. And just keep breathing with the movement. Now stay up, and we're going to do about a 2-inch pulse. So lift 10 times in this little 2-inch range of motion. Let your knees touch. Don't move your feet, but let your knees touch and do a 10 little pulse. Let your knees go wide and do 10 little pulses. Let your knees be over the heels. Now lift up a leg and you're going to reach it up and now really point through your toes. Inhale and exhale. Breathe in, and now you're feeling your calves start to wake up. Hi, Michelle. Good. Inhale. And on that 10th one or so, put that foot down and then let your other leg up and really reach through your foot. Point, flex, point, flex. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice your hamstring starts to get a little taller, like you can stretch it more at the top. Now breathe in, and we're going to let the foot come down. And then take your right ankle on top of your left thigh. It's like you're in a figure 4 stretch, but you're going to drop your hip and lift it. 10. We're waking up the glutes. Now, if you are feeling like your hips are uneven and you cannot fix it, just do this with 2 feet. Now the other foot is going to come down and the other foot's going to come up. So now we're going to do 10. Lower and lift. Lower and lift, but you're making sure you don't get lordotic or more curved in the low back. Your glute is feeling it. You're trying to keep your hips level. And for when you're ready, left foot comes down. Now lower your spine and just take a happy baby to wake up. We got a little blood flow, and now we're getting a stretch and to our hips, and you're in happy baby, pulling the knees down. Breathe in. Now your fingers are going to go behind your head. Your feet are on a table. And if you need a modification, let me show you crisscross, kind of like a modification here. You can lengthen one leg. Okay, now when you're ready, you could add on a rotation. And you see how my shoulder blades are off the mat? Your belly is pulling in. And when you change sides, you see that the belly on your exhale pulls in. And it's almost like you're getting ready to cough. It's that kind of contraction, or you're getting ready to yell. The transverse abdominals pull in. So if you ever have heard that navel to spine cue, that's what they mean. It's kind of like everything corsets in. You can feel it. Instead of it pooching out, it pulls in. Take 4. But I'm saying that cue over and over because that's a way to protect your back. Now rest your head and hug. Now with this one, you can rock right and left, or you can point and flex your feet. It's really nice just to kind of loosen everything up. I like to even do a little head movement so that your neck muscles are a little released every time. Now we're going to take the feet back down, curl up your spine. Now you remember we did some pulses at the beginning. Lift up one leg and point that toe. Now 10 pulses with your top leg pointed. 10, lift up and down in about a 2-inch range of motion. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now keep that same leg up, but pull its toes back. Now I feel a really intense hamstring stretch. See if you do. Push up 10. Now this time mix it up. So watch this. Point up. So same leg. Point, flex, point. Try to pulse and move your ankle. Point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. It's good for our brain to do these kind of coordinations. All right, now we're going to put that foot down. We do the whole series on the other leg. So, whoops, gotta get it a little above. Okay, so lift up, got you, and you're going to do a point. Now you're gonna do a pulse. So your hip that's on the floor is doing a push up. Now that same leg that's in the air flexes. Now you're gonna do a pulse. The foot that's on the floor is giving you a little lift 10 times. Now we put some moves together. Get ready. We're gonna still do pulses, but we're gonna point and then flex, and point and 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 flex, and relax your neck. Breathe in and lower that foot, and then lower your spine. Put your hands between your knees and hold on to your feet if you can reach them. But if you can't reach them, hold on to your ankles. And you can even add a rock. You just want to feel some inner thigh, maybe the hip, maybe the back. I love a little rock. You can rock your neck too. Oh, that feels good. When you pull your feet in, you feel more low back stretching, more inner thigh stretching. So use your arms to pull in the legs into a stretch that's good for you. Your elbows can kind of pry your knees open, your thighs open. Now the leg, let's say right comes up, the left leg's about 45. Now I'll show you the modified. If you want to do a little pair of scissors here and leave your head down, another modification, let me go ahead and show this, is to put your head in a Pilates ring or on a block so you don't have to lift it as high. But if you're ready, when you're ready, you can come up and exhale every time you switch. You have this belly pull in. Now I'm going to change up the legs, pull your toes back, and keep going. I'll show you if you have a Pilates ring and you need a modification for your neck, or if you just have a little towel, this is a way you can do it. All right, now rest for just a moment. Hug them in. We're not done with those abs, but I just want to give you a breather here. Another little trick you could do to release is take one hand to one knee and kind of stir your pot. Move your thighs in circles and go the other way. All right, now this one is legs up. Just do the same thing you did. So if you're modified, your little scissor, or you take your fingers behind your head and you rotate with your long scissor legs. The key is your belly pulls in, your ribs stay down on the mat. What you're noticing is the lower your leg goes, the more the more you have to pay attention to that rib down cue. If you can handle another cue, pull your toes back. If you're feeling like, nope, I got enough on my plate, just do your points. 8, 7, or you could decrease the range of motion if you need. 4 with your leg lower. 3, 2. All right, now we're gonna take another happy baby. Your hands go to your feet and you pull the knees down. Reach the right leg up all by itself, pour the left leg down. We're just touching that stretch. You can point and flex, you can circle the ankle, breathe in. And try the other. Reach leg up, point flex. Breathe in. All right, hug it in. Now this next one is double leg stretch. So let me show you modified in case you need a head low position. Either put your head on a pillow or put your head in a Pilates ring and open up your arms and legs, or lift up your shoulders and then stretch out and hug, and then stretch out and hug. Inhale, good, and up and close, and open and close. I like to gently squeeze the legs together too, because that tells the inner thighs to help out, and the inner thighs are so connected to the core, the abs, the pelvic floor. It helps. So 2 more if you can. Inhale and then rest. Now this time hug one leg in and pour one leg down. So hug one leg in, pour one leg down. Breathe in, Yeah, and then switch it. Now, I like to add a little ankle roll movement here too, so if that doesn't disturb you from your big stretch, add it. Nice job. Now, we're gonna let the feet down. I've got to take my socks off. Let the feet down for a bridge, but this bridge, I'd like to offer you an option. If you would like to lift up your heels, you're on your toes now, all 10 toes. Now go up and down and you're on your toes, you're not on your heels as an option. Of course, your modification is you could put your heels down flat like normal, okay? But at first, or if you'd like to try, heels up. Make sure you're not just on your pinky toe. Your ankle has a tendency to invert. If you've ever sprained your ankle, you know what I'm talking about. But you want to have even pressure in the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe. All right, see if you can stay up and do 10 little pulses, still heels up. Lift up a foot, you're still on one toes, your heel's still up on the floor one, and do these pulses, do 20. Now, should be burning. Let your foot down, leave the heel up if you want that cue, and do 20. Let that foot down and then lower. Awesome. Now, full body stretch. We're going to add a cue to the full body stretch. Reach through your waist, reach through your arms. So let one leg shift past the other, but not by bending your knee, by moving your QL, your back. Michelle, this one ought to feel super therapeutic for your back, everybody. But if you've ever had any back pain or anything, even just a long shift at work, or even like a long bike ride, something where you're back, or long sitting in the car, it needs attention. So try this. Sometimes one side's tighter than the other, and you can just consciously give your attention to it in this stretch. Awesome. We're gonna leave our left leg down. You're gonna slide your right leg up. Draw circles. This is leg circles. Keep your ribs down. Inhale, as big a circle as you could do without clicking or without losing your rib contact. If you're lordotic today, or you want to support, you can put a little pillow under your head, and that helps keeps the rib connected to the floor. So a pillow can actually help your back, not just your head, not just your neck. Okay, 10 the other way. Breathe in, and you can add element of grace to this. So you can imagine you're doing ballet exercise. You can imagine you're drawing a perfect circle on the sky. Have a feeling of fluidity and ease. Breathe in. Now the leg that we're working, you can leave it in the air, and let's enjoy a stretch. So if you just want to hold it, you can. If you want to grab a ring or a Dynaband, but otherwise just hold 20. Feel it coming in. Feel the other leg pouring down. Again, hip stretches are great for the back. 5, 4. Oh, that looks good, Shereen. Good flexibility today, 2. Woo, feels good. All right, take the other one down. Take the other one up. I have to move a little bit for the room, for the wall I'm next to. Okay, draw circles, and your ribs are down. Now add that element of grace. Breathe in. And notice how your breath links with the movement. Enjoy. That helps the parasympathetic system. Now, after you've done about 10 and 10, you can even use a Pilates ring or a Dynaband, and you can stretch it. It's nice and warmed up now, and see if it's a little more responsive. I tend to work better with a little bit of blood flow first, so Most of us do, but just see if that hamstring now is a little bit more malleable. Like if you put Play-Doh in the sunshine, it kind of melts a little. It's like that. 10. The other leg pours down. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Now you can let that go, and we're gonna put both of our legs up. Now you're gonna draw a circle. Keep your legs glued. Draw a circle. Now your inner thighs are together. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your legs in, and you can rock a little bit if you'd like. Nice job. And now we're gonna do, it's actually a yoga move, but we're gonna stick it in anyway. Reach one leg up, and can you take 2 fingers on the big toe and catch it? If you cannot, don't worry, just hold on to whatever you can. Now the left leg extends about 6 inches above the floor. You're gonna use your abs to come up. That's one option. Or you could put your hand behind your head if you just don't like to hold that neck that way. But tucking the chin helps. Keeping the shoulder blades off the mat helps. Feel this leg stretch. Feel the abdominals pull your ribs down. Keep pulling that leg in. Breathe in. Good. Abs are pulling in. You can see them. Pull in. All right, let's take the other one. I like to really try to focus on that stretch of the leg, and if you can add that, lengthen your knee and either hand on the thigh. Now you're still pulling this hamstring stretch in. You're really pulling the abs in. If you need a hand on your head, don't be shy. It is okay. There's no shame. Breathe in. There's no judgment. You're probably looking at your toes so that your neck's in a good alignment, your bottom toes. Inhale. And exhale, relax. Hug it in again. Nice job. Lie on your side. Oh, grab a sip if you need. Then we're going to lie on our side. I can take off my vest. And take your arm underneath your ear as if it's a pillow. And we're going to go up and down. Now look at your toes. In other words, you should be able to see your toes so that your low back doesn't take too much. This hand is another way to kind of make sure my biceps and my abs are not getting in my back, low back lordosis. We'll take 30. Go up a half an inch higher than you think you can. And then you're going to stay up and try the top leg up. Now scan your neck and see if it's loose. Take your bottom leg and lift it up. Really try to go a half an inch higher than you think you can. The mind sometimes shuts us off from our potential, but there we are, we're doing it. Now we're going to go to the other side. I'll meet you over here. Good, I can see you better, great. Go up and down. Now here's our bias, this ab part, not the back. Go a half an inch higher than you think you can without separating the feet, so the feet are still glued together. Both of them are coming up and down. Now we're doing 30, which normally we do 20, so feel that endurance getting better. You're going to be staying up And now the top leg goes up. Now check your jaw, make sure it's not tense, make sure your neck's not tense. Shoulders are relaxed. And the bottom leg goes up, feel that. Nice job. Now we're going to take a belly down position. Take your hands beside your thighs, go up. Look down, but lift up. Now you're welcome to lift your toes and your thighs off, your knees off the mat. Good, Jean. That was a good correction. But every time you inhale, you go up a little. Every time you inhale, you go up a little. Rest for a moment, and then if you want to add your interlaced fingers, do that. Lift up. Relax and interlace your fingers the other way. Go up. And relax into a child position. I like to pull the toes under and get those feet stretched. If you want to add that on, your heels are straight up and down. You use your hands to help stretch out the feet. Go back down to the belly. Now, with your inhale, you will lift up your back at first. Put your hands kind of in front of you and to the sides, and then peel up a little higher and hold. Now, it's always great to fine tune. You might want to try to pull your shoulder blades down the back more, or your elbows point down to the floor more. Breathe in. Good. That's it. Good. See how it changed, Karen? It's just you notice what you need today and you adapt to that. But always the shoulders are down, the elbows point down, the belly has a little lift up. Neck is soft. Lower back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. These are pretty important for us. So go up. If you just look at a crowd of people and you see that most people get rounded with time, that's why we really just do it every week. We do these every week, every class really. Breathe in. And let your breath help you just by sending your breath to your chest and your upper back. You facilitate that extension. Lower down. Now you can do 1 more, and it's okay if you don't want to go up very high. Even just a 1/2 inch helps counter. Or all 4s is another way to get that back, like in the strength. Breathe in. And lower. Okay, we are taking a child pose, and this time I'm going to propose the knees are wide, and it's a different little child's pose. Your belly goes right down the middle. You can sometimes feel a little inner thigh stretch, but put your hips all the way back towards your heels. Child pose, hips back towards your heels, unless your knees don't like it, and then just do a puppy dog. All right, we're heading towards a plank. So if you would like a sip, I'm going to have us do that, and then we're going to do some forearm planks. Elbows underneath you, curl your toes, hold. If you would like to add on, nothing's going to move here, but just listen to the cue and see if it makes sense. Pull your arms towards your toes and your toes towards your arms. It adds a little bit more isometric contraction. Now recover. I'd say for me, it's like a 10% increase in strength challenge. So this is a side plank. Your feet can be stacked for harder or staggered for a little bit easier balance. These muscles are strong. Breathe in. Lower your hip. We're going to go to the other side. Elbow down, lift up. Stacked is harder. Staggered is easier. Should feel like more front abs, not the back. And then inhale, lower your hips. Nice job. Now this is reverse plank or reverse legs long or hands or knees bent. So lift up. Breathe in. And then exhale, lower. Now let your feet go together and take a forward bound angle. You could even let your inner thighs, you could even let your knees, your elbows press your knees or more. Gently come up, and we're going back to the front plank, so forearms down. We are going to add on here as an option, you can shift forward and back. So at first, just get your normal plank and see if that's going to be enough. But if you want to add on, push through your toes and you'll go forward a bit, drop through your heels, push forward through your toes, drop through your heels, and forward, and forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, take it to the side. Now, the top arm is going to be up at first, but now your add-on is the rotation, the lift. You can even take your arm past the shoulder. I need to move out because of that stretch. Back, rotate, back. And you'll notice I'm just changing our cadence a little bit. It is nice to confuse your muscles and give them different challenges. In one way to do that is in timing, speed. Kind of like if you've ever walked, you can walk fast. If you're up really fast, it's about as hard as running. Right around 4.5 miles per hour is about as hard as a light jog. All right, so lower your hips. So what we do is change up the challenge, and then our muscles have to adapt. So feet go up and you're rotating. Then you go up. Now you're probably going to be able to go behind you because of the shoulder flexibility. Shoulder stretch, you're adding on. I like to even roll through the fingers, and it's like you're flossing the nerves. If any of you have ever had paresthesia down your arms, or kind of like a tingling electrical sensation, or if your shoulders are tight or traps are tight, or like me, I had the tick disease, so it's like there's paresthesia. These are some of the things you can do to help the nerves. Breathe in. Now lower. Now we're going back to a forearm plank. Grab a sip if you want. And the forearm plank, we're going to filter in a dolphin and then a plank. So we'll go down to your elbows. Now notice your plank, and that may be what you do. But if you want to add on, you can shift your hips up and then you go down to plank. And then you shift your hips up. Your neck's gonna go with you. I don't want it to feel like it's got tension. So you're probably looking towards your toes when you're in dolphin, and then you're in a plank and you're probably looking at your hands. So your neck is easy and not wrinkled, tense. And you're just going to plank, you're not dropping any lower. Your knees are strong and long. One more. And get ready to go down, turn to your side. Really good, guys. Now this one, your elbows underneath your shoulder, your hands can start at your thighs. Go up, and you notice I'm doing that different speed or cadence. Now your hip will lower. Hi, Jean, I'm glad you got back. And then you go over. Now your hip lowers a bit. It doesn't go to the floor. These will, in a way, feel harder, even though you can pay more attention to form, but there's more time we're spending up here. So this is more endurance. And lower. Good. I don't know if you can see my dog's like toes up in the corner. She's not doing her Pilates. So you can take that as your modification. Take your feet, hand here. Now go up and over. And breathe in and two. And this is a graceful move. So reach through your fingers. Exhale, push. 5, and feel your core, feel your abs more than your back. I don't want your low back to feel lordotic or more curved. 7, if anything, your hand's slightly ahead of you. 8, and 9. Notice it's a little harder because it's a slower pace. 10, really good. Now come up. All right, either reverse plank or reverse table. So reverse table is bent knee, reverse plank is long. Get ready, and you can always do a bound angle if your ankles, or sorry, if your wrists just don't like this. Go up. You could add a leg lift. You could add a leg lift. Now that's a lot harder. So if you want to do 10, go for it. Or if you want to do 4, but it's up to you to try to find where your challenge is. And I'm going to do 4 more here. 3, good. 2, good, Karen. 1. Now this is a different stretch. You're going to come in front, and it's either crisscross applesauce or put your foot. You see how I put it where my thigh is on my calf? And now we're going to do the other side, so don't worry, but we're going to go forward and stretch. I want you to notice if you feel like, oh, I feel a bigger stretch when I go to the side, go for it. So in other words, I want you to flavor it, your flavor, put your spice on it. Breathe in. Come on up. Switch it up. Now your other foot is up here on your thigh cap. If that's too intense though, leave it down on the ground. Walk forward. If you have that urge that, oh, I get a better stretch when I go sideways, please do. Figure out, feel it out. and then come back up. And there would be world peace if everyone stretched every morning, wouldn't there? You just feel so good. There would be world peace, one stretch at a time. Now, grab a sip if you want it. I want to add a down dog, up dog articulation. It's really good for strength and for spinal mobility. But I understand if that's a hard pose, then please just do cat-cow. That's another way to do it, or forearm plank dolphin. But I'll show you. Down dog, up dog is starting with down dog. Now feel your calf stretch. So like milk every part of this. Right here is a great calf stretch. When you push your heels down and you lift your sit bones, you feel calves and hamstrings. Now just lift your heels and then let the stretch start at your low back, your middle back, your upper back. Now to modify, you could just do the plank. You can also go to up dog and still keep your legs strong and open up your shoulders and lift your heart. Breathe in and now tuck your chin, upper back, middle back, lower back, and heels. And milk it. There's a great calf stretch there. Lift your heels, low back, middle back, upper back. Breathe in. Exhale, tuck, upper back, middle back, lower back, and then inhale. And so Catherine, when you watch this, you might want to go to your forearms. That way you have less wrist. And inhale. And one more, because you know we're doing them slower and you can feel that. All right, go to your forearms, but see if you can hold down dog. What that does, there's a few things. It does make it more arm bias. So if you're like me and you like strong arms and you want to keep your arms strong, that's really a nice way to do it. But also your heels, they probably just came off the floor. Really reach them down. We're going to add on the right foot, pushing on the left heel. Now you have probably a more intense stretch. And 20. Try the other one. Put your left foot on the right heel and keep pushing it down. Now, of course, if you need to come out and do it, everybody look strong. Now put both feet down and see if they're just a little, oh yeah, a little bit longer. Lower your shins, child pose. And then come up to seated. However you want to. Take a cow face pose. So if you have the tight back sometimes, one trick is to get the posterior chain stretched out. So Michelle, I'm hoping that helps, because when your feet are stretched out, your calves, your hamstrings, the energy transfer when you walk is less abrasive on your back, because the whole trampoline system starting at your feet can absorb that shock. So it's always fascinating to me how everything's related. And I love the reason of why it's related, but just see how your back feels when your hamstrings, calves, and feet are more flexible. You can imagine a Tin Man, like a Wizard of Oz, how he would walk, how that would look like it would hurt your back. And then you can imagine a gazelle, how they're fluid and elastic. We're trying to get more elastic with time, not crunchy or tin soldier-ish as time, or Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz. So take it to the other side. See if that all makes sense. Now, this is for posture. What I like about posture is you do have a way to prevent rounded forward shoulders. Most people think that just comes with time. It does not. You can do something about it. It also, for me, the big benefit is it affects mood. You can get a fuller breath. Energy is mood. You can feel confident. You can feel open to ideas. You can feel ready to go do stuff, vibrant, alive, radiant. That's quality of life. Breathe in. Big full breath, and then let that go. Now I'm just going to sort of sit up for a moment. This is called knocking on the door of life. Let it go. In other words, let any tension go. Anytime you cross the midline with your arms, you feel brain calm. So why not take advantage of the parasympathetic fertile ground for being our best. Now we are going back to some planks. Your forearm plank first. I am going to add on from this. So at first, just go elbows, go toes. Now this is just a normal plank, but we're going to do that isometric hold again. So it doesn't really move, but pretend or activate your elbows towards your feet and your feet towards your elbows. That adds an extra element of oomph, of challenge. 10, 5, 2, and recover. Woo! Okay, side plank. If you would like a tree pose it on, that's our option. You can do the normal one of plank if you would like, side 10. Your bottom hip is working a little harder now. Stretch out those fingers. They love the tension. We're going to stretch them in a moment, but inhale, lower your hip, go to the other side. All right, your elbows down, your palms are, tree pose. Go up. And the bottom hand, you can flatten out. If you're falling asleep and you have any nerve pain or paresthesia or shoulder tightness, one easy thing you can do is just flatten out your hand on the bed. And that part of your hand is high sensitive and it helps the nervous system. So it helps that blood, that nervous flow, nerve flow. If you've ever had paresthesia, you know what I'm talking about. This helps open up the nerves. It's like a rubber hose. If you had it kinked, it wouldn't flow water as well. That's how your body is. So take your legs out, take an inhale to go up and behind. And an inhale to go up, up, up. This is part of the stretch and behind. Now, elbows are soft, lift your heart. You may have to tuck your chin so that your neck doesn't get strained. You might be looking at your toes. Breathe in. Now the breath, can you feel how it helps the posture stretch? Breathe in. Now we're gonna come up, let the legs go out kind of like a little V. Hold hands and move your wrist. This is a stretch for your wrist first. Hey Carol, what are you doing? All right, open up your arms when you're ready and then reach your hand. So let's just say right pinky to left pinky and then go up your left pinky hand to your right pinky hand and then go up, right pinky to left pinky, left pinky to right pinky. And you notice I'm just offering a really enjoyable pace, so it's kind of like flowy. You can give more attention to your reach, and give more attention to your length. I like to think of a big bird of a huge wingspan, like you've just seen a broad-wing hawk, and you can emulate that, or a big a big eagle wingspan. Now one more on each, so really reach. Now, you're gonna go forward. You could separate the legs a little bit if you want more. You're gonna go forward and just enjoy a stretch. Shake out any tension in the neck. Let go of, with your exhale, let go of any tension anywhere that you might be feeling it, not just the inner thighs. Breathe in. Gently come up. And when you're up, it's not going to change that much, but you can do this up and over, and just kind of ease into it. Where do you need to be? So it may feel good that you have your hand on that same side. Maybe you need it on the outside or on the inside. That's a nice one. Explore. And I like to just check in with the neck here. Make sure it's easy. Flow. A garden hose that's unkinked. Breathe in, come up. And just find, where does your arm need to be for you to feel stable? So you can really just concentrate on the breathing and the stretching. Where does your neck need to be? Let your eyes close and start that parasympathetic healing. Breathe in. Now we're going to go down the middle, which I always feel like it's fascinating how it's a little easier and instantly reassuring and hopeful that I'm not going to be tight forever. So it's like this really good feeling, you can wiggle into it more. Breathe back in and come up. How's everybody feeling? Good job. Now this one is rotation. So this is also called mermaid. One option is that you are in what I call a double triangle or mermaid position. Your left foot's on your right thigh. Karen, you can sit any way you want to if your knee just doesn't like it. So just see. Now go open. Now, so my left foot's on my right thigh, and I'm gonna rotate so that my right hand's on my left thigh and look over your shoulder. Now I'm gonna look at you because I just want to see if all that makes sense. Yeah. Ooh, everybody looks great. Upper back is your focus. Upper back is your focus. Breathe in. And then face front, but switch your legs around. So now you have this double triangle, also called mermaid. Right now, for example, my right foot's on my left thigh-ish. You can always use a pillow and you can always sit somewhere else. The main intention is our spine is in rotation. So now open arms and then exhale. I'm gonna turn, or you're gonna turn and rotate. I'm just gonna look at you to make sure everybody's okay. That way, Karen, I think. Yeah, good. Your upper back, everybody looks good, is your focus. Karen, you look great. No, I'm just looking at you to make sure that you, yeah, and everybody looks good. What I'm also noticing is your neck. So Karen, tuck your chin just like, yes. Do you feel better? Yeah. It's like these subtle ways to create ease and flow, just like a hose. So now the neck should feel easy. Your upper back is leading the way. Don't feel like your neck has to crank more than your back is feeling is appropriate. But when you exhale, I like the image of a wash rag that you're wringing out. Breathe in. And then exhale to come forward. Now, I think we're going to be in a good vision, but if you need one more step, you can take it. We're going to go down. And just take about 10 seconds. So I think you can still see me, right? Yeah. Now, when you're down, what you could do is take your Pilates ring or your Dynaband and wrap it around your foot. You're going to do a little bridge lift if you would like on your foam roller or your block. And that's because it adds a psoas stretch, which most people are tight in their hip flexors. So the twofer is up and good. Now we did some hamstring stretching already. So you might notice, like me, it does not feel as tight as it usually does. It already feels more open. You know that cross that we do where you take the midline across your body? You could do that. And you know how we go out a little bit. And just take a moment, switch it up. If you need to adjust your body on your yoga block or on your foam roller, you can do that. If you need a pillow, you can do that. Oh, that hip flexor feels so good, the one that's long, so let it pour. Hamstring. Leg across, if you would like. Yeah. All right. You can just take a moment to lie on the floor or just lie over your block or take your feet up on the wall. Just find something that feels very restorative to you. There's so many ways, but you may have an urge to be in a different way, or a stiff, a way might work better one day for you than another, but they're all good. So let your breath feel like it's one of replenishment to your cells. Give them love and attention. We're also going to give them a breath, a feeling of inhale of appreciation. Look how much they do for us all the time. The cells of our body, they're pumping blood, they're processing food, they're digesting, they're breathing, and we don't even have to tell them what to do. And there they are working for us 24/7. So we're going to give some appreciation with this inhale for this incredible miracle of the body. Give it replenishment. Give it thanks. And now give it an intention of more wellness, more health. Feel the strength Visualize yourself strong, posture upright, radiant, vibrant, healthy, full of prana, full of life force, full of mobility, elasticity like an animal in the woods, confidence, sure-footedness, stability, balance, radiance, functionality, and just have that image in your mind of you continuing to be all those things, all those adjectives, all those energies. Layer those energies with love. We're blessing our body to the highest good right now. In your mind's eye, you see that vision of you radiant, vibrant, strong, mobile, balanced, upright posture, sure-footed, anything you can come up with that sets those energies in motion. Now, when you're ready, you can release that block or that foam roller and come on up to a seated position that is good for you. And then just breathe in that radiance, that prana, that life force, what you're doing is writing a story of yourself. You're writing, and you can do this afterwards if you want. You can script it out. I feel good. I feel strong. I'm walking calmly. I'm confident. I am mobile. I'm reaching over and doing things that anything I want to do, I get on the ground. And you have a script of yourself in writing and in visual. And that's what your cells will go to. So right now we're going to bless our body to the highest good of optimal strength, optimal balance, optimal flow, optimal elasticity, optimal pliancy, and just embrace that good feeling. And with so much appreciation, thank you so much. Now go out there and shine today. Go out there and shine. Bye.